Well, my watch says it's 7 o'clock, so let's get started. I am Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time. And today, I think is the hottest day that we have had so far this year. First day of summer, happy summer. Happy summer equinox, the longest day of the year. After this, our days start getting shorter and shorter. It makes me sad because I really do love the daylight. Anyway, this is Friday, and this is my Fabulous Friday Facebook Live. And I am excited today to show you this card. I have seen it made, probably 6 months, even a year ago, but decided to do it tonight. And I just absolutely love it. So here's the front of the card. And when you take the belly band off and open the card, the magic appears. Isn't that gorgeous? It's called a Stadium Wave card. And it looks complicated, but it really isn't that hard to make. So let's get started with it. Start with card base, 11 by 4 1/4, and this is gosh, I can't think of the name of it right now. it's Lagoon. Let me go check just a sec. It is Pretty Peacock. This is this color of that we had as an in color several years ago, and they decided to put it into the standard color families. So Pretty Peacock, and it is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. This is our card base, and let's go ahead and build with the card base. Okay. Oh, here we go. So I have a piece that's 4 1/2 by 3 inches with this Designer Series paper. Man, tonight my memory is short. It is Delightful Floral, and it's in the online exclusives. Delightful Floral Designer Series paper, and this is Pool Party, and this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4 inch. So I'm going to layer those together. And then put them onto the card base. I'm only going to adhere the top and the bottom so that I can slide the belly band in behind it. I think it's a very cool way to do a belly band so that the design still stays on there even when you take the belly band off. And then for the greeting on the front, I stamped Just For You. I used the dies that are part of the Unbounded Love series bundle, and I used this die to cut it out. I had stamped it with the Pretty Peacock ink, and the stamps is Unbounded Love, and I used Just For You. And that will go on the front, just like that. And then for a little bit of embellishments, I'm going to put on some of these brushed brass birds. This is also in the online exclusives, came out last fall. And I think they are so sweet. And I'm going to put 3 on. Got to do things in threes, you know. The rule of threes. Okay, so that takes care of the card front. Then I'm going to put Designer Series paper on the inside here. This is one of the designs from the stamp set that were the papers we are using. And I'm going to use this light blue because it kind of reminds me of sky. My idea is that these flowers are blowing in the breeze, or waving in the breeze, I should say. This is 5 1/4 by 4, so it'll fit right in here. And then I wanted something brown to represent the soil. And this is a retired Cheerful Daisies Designer Series paper. This I thought would make good soil. So put that on. And then I have a greeting that is from the Simply Zinnias. It says, sending flowers and thinking of you. And I'm going to use Early Espresso and stamp it right along the bottom here. See, there's plenty of room for it when you open up the card. So now our card base is done for the time being. We'll set it aside. Now the mechanism that makes this is a series of strips. And I went online to see different ways that people have made this style fancy fold. Some have used 1-inch strips by 10 inch. Some have used 1/2 inch by, I think, 6 inches, and it was a much smaller thing. But I decided that I was going to use 1/2 inch by 10 inch, and so I started out with a piece that was 5 1/4 by 10. And so you scored it. Before you cut it into strips, you score it. You scored at 4 inch and at 8 inch, 8 3/4, and 9 1/2. Then you cut it into the 3/4 inch strips. And you make a mountain fold, and you make another mountain fold. Then you make a valley fold, and then you make another mountain fold. So you have a little tab like that. And then you put some adhesive on this little 1/2 inch section. And you fold it down. Come on. Stick. And you end up with a piece that looks like this. So let me do that one more time. You started with 10 inch by 3/4 inch, and I scored at 4 inches. Make a mountain fold, At 8 inches, another mountain fold. At 8 3/4 inch, and valley fold, and then at 9 1/2 with a mountain fold. So you got a little crook like that. Then you put adhesive on it and close it up. So it looks like that. And I have 7 of them. I've done most of them already. Now when you go to put them together, we're going to put them together to make the wave. And you want every one of them to have the same overlap, like here. I used Designer Series paper because it's thinner. I also wanted to have it look like leaves. Looks like I cut it wrong. Wanted to have leaves. So maybe I'll put them all. Okay. So you just have to have them all the same direction. The seam is here, and that'll be down. So make sure all the seams are down. Because I want to have the leaves going up. Okay. So there's 2 ways to put this together. I wanted my card to have the open space over here. So I'm going to be gluing them down. Like this. Stacking them like this. Now, if I wanted the open space to be over on this side, I would start and glue them this direction. See the difference? But I wanted to go that way. So put a little bit of glue, a strip of glue along here, not too much, and then making sure that the seam is down, because I decided to have the seam down. Overlap it by half. And try to make it straight and even along the bottom. If you don't get it quite right, that'll be all right, because the wave is, man, it's warm out, so this glue is really coming out fast. I don't want it sticking where it shouldn't be sticking. So last night when I was making my sample, I had in mind what I wanted, but wasn't quite sure how it was going to come together. And like often happens, it just came together. Much better than I had anticipated. Now, if you used 1-inch wide strips, you would have a wider mechanism. It would take up more of the card. And the last one. You can do this with cardstock. And if you were to do it with cardstock, I would make a double fold at the center of your card where you, so that there was a little more space for the thickness of the cardstock. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so I wanted it to be well, I made it backwards. So it's going to be different, but that's okay. If I turned it over this way, all my leaves would be upside down. But I want them upright, so it's going to be that way. It's going to wave the opposite direction. No problem. So let's put it into our card. Okay. So I'm going to start on the right hand side this time, and I'm going to glue down this piece. You can use tear and tape if you want. And you're going to line it up evenly, just about at the fold. And then we'll put glue down here. And you close your card. And there we have it. See how it goes up? Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so now we can decorate our things. And I debated what kind of stamp to use and decided to fussy cut flowers out of the Designer Series paper. You have to be careful when you put these on, that when the card folds, the flower will stay beneath the confines of the card when it's closed. Oh, bent my flower. So just stick some glue on and put it on. I'm going to put it on this back part that rises. And the last one. Give that a chance to dry. And as you fold it up, it all collapses like that. Then you go to open it up and you have a wave of flowers. The sentry dogs are on the job. Sorry about that. And I decided I want to put a few butterflies up here as well. Now the possibilities, I mean not butterflies, birds, swallows to be exact. So there's your card. And when you close it up, you have this. Now the belly band is 7.5 by 1 1/4. And all I did was to slide it under on this side a ways. Then fold it over. Fold it over again and kind of slide it under. This side gets a little bent, but that's okay. And you just slide it under there. Isn't that cool? To keep the card. This will take a little extra postage because it's thick, but the birds are flat, so that won't be a problem. And I didn't use any Stampin' Dimensionals for the front here. You could. You could probably use Stampin' Dimensionals here as well. Might make it a little easier to get this side underneath, but I wanted to make sure it held tight. So here you have it, a beautiful wave card. Called it Stadium Wave because it's like when you're at a ball game or something and one person raves and the next one stands up and waves, and it's kind of a wave type thing. There are other names for it. You could put butterflies on here. You could put, I've seen some done with animals. Any rate, it's very cool. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can email me, sue@soggystamper.com. My blog is www.soggystamper.com. And if you need any of these products, my store is creationsbysue.stampinup.net. So thank you for watching. You have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back next Friday at 7 o'clock with another, hopefully, fancy fold card. See you. Bye-bye.